Welcome back to the Dropouts Podcast. You were here with your host, Semaj Sinclair, and to the right of me, we have the one and only
Tyler.
Hell yeah. T. Carl, how you been, bro?
It's been good, bro. How you been?
Can't complain, man. Podcasting, training.
Feel it.
Hell yeah. You still been lifting, bro?
I've still been lifting. Not as much as I'd like to, but we do what we can.
Hell yeah. So, all right. For the people who don't know you, let's give them a little backstory of who you are, what you do, and how would you describe that?
I don't know, because I feel like there was so many different kind of phases that I went through in a way. Like, it started with skateboarding. That kind of led me into the whole 90SSKATER thing, with thrifting and all that, just along skate trips. That's kind of how I got into the whole thing. And then now it kind of merged where I merged with the shop. So now it's I'm part of First Stop.
Mm-hmm.
So I run all the vintage at First Stop. And my friend runs all the streetwear. Main dude, he runs all the sneakers. So
nice.
Yeah.
So you said you started with skating.
Yeah.
How'd you get started in skating?
I've just been skating for as long as I can remember. I think maybe around 8 years old or something like that.
Okay, shit.
I got a skateboard for a holiday or something. Just started riding around and I got addicted to it ever since.
Yeah.
I was just nonstop skating from that point up until probably when I went to my first year in college. And then after that kind of slowed down on it. Yeah,
you're not skating much these days?
No, not as much as I'd like to. I just feel I'm working 24/7.
Yeah.
I skate on occasion, but it's not not how it used to be. It was every day, just wake up, go skate.
Yeah. Who were some of the people that got you influenced in skating?
There's a lot of different people. It was aside from friends and stuff that, I was
people you were looking up to.
Yeah, I was just big into skate videos.
Mm-hmm.
And that was one of the first things I probably collected was just skate videos. It started with the Bones Brigade videos, Circa, just pretty much every brand. I would just try and grab all the DVDs.
Hell yeah.
Just watch them all, and I was just addicted to there's so many different styles with each person.
Yeah.
So I'd try and pick and choose I want to learn this trick that this dude did.
Yeah.
And it was kind of just a little wormhole thing.
I feel that.
Yeah.
Do you still watch skate videos, or do you keep up with any of the people?
Yeah, I definitely still watch skate videos. Not as much, but it's whenever the homies drop something, I always make sure I first to watch it.
Hell yeah. So what are skate videos like? Because do you know who GM Casto is? Garrett Casto?
Not off the top of my head.
He's this dude. He's this TikToker. He does a lot of skate videos. He does flips and snowboards. He's just one of those dudes. But he recently came out with a skate tape, and I thought that was old school. I didn't know people still did that. I thought that was the Jackass era and whatnot.
I don't know. I feel there's so many different genres with skate videos because there's the full length. There's the I guess shorter length films. There's people who do individual parts. There's people who just do kind of a compilation of it. It'll be a group of 10 friends or something. It's just no one has individual parts. It's just chaos all thrown together with a mix of B-roll and throwing stuff off buildings and just wilding out stuff.
Yeah.
So there's way crazy different avenues that you could get into with it.
What's a specific skate video that you've gotten that you think really just stuck out to you, something you really liked?
I don't know, there's been so many crazy ones. I think one of my favorite series to watch growing up was Thrasher's King of the Road. Just because that one I feel was at least the first for me that kind of just seemed completely different from all the other ones. If you don't know what that is, it's kind of so Thrasher would put on this King of the Road challenge. And basically, they would pick skate teams, and they would pick a leader. Maybe the captain would be Tony Hawk for one team, or Bam Margera for the other. They'd get a checklist of crazy challenges. It would be skating and then random stuff too, must smash 24 beers for 2 points or something.
That's
so
funny.
Just a bunch of chaos stuff, and whoever had the most points win.
Yeah. So would you say that you're still really influenced by that archetype of skate video genre and whatnot, or do you think that your personal style, personal business, and all that has kind of evolved into something else?
Uh, it's hard to say, I guess, but it's like I still have like a ton of respect for like skate videos and stuff. But like I said, everything's like so different. It's like I kind of have like a wide variety of stuff that I watch, so it's like I kind of pick and choose a little bit from everything. Kind of morph it into whatever. If I'm trying to do a certain thing, whether it be a video or whatnot, like how can I incorporate, my favorite things from all of them.
Yeah. So you started with the skateboarding. What was the next thing that you like got into?
So I think it was actually like at the time we would take the bus. We would go start with Atlanta. We figured out you could take a bus to Atlanta for like $5-10.
Really?
So it would be like me, Destin, and Deer.
Oh yeah.
Take the bus down to Atlanta. We'd bring some Enos. We'd tell our parents we're staying at our friend's house. We just go like, we were honestly probably like really bad kids. Like,
so you
definitely
were
not
sleeping
safe.
like just outdoors in Atlanta?
Yeah, we would go to like Zone 6 and like we thought it was so funny, but like it was probably the most dangerous thing we could have like actually done. We would just like at the skate parks or like under the bridge. We'd keep it moving.
Oh
We'd
yeah.
just stay up like all night, catch the bus back in the morning. But it started with Atlanta, then it went to New York. We figured out we could take the overnight bus to New York. I think it was like $40 if you bought it in advance, like $60 like day of. But we started going to New York a lot, and we met like a lot of friends out there, and that's kind of where that like fashion influence kind of came from. So we started meeting a bunch of people who were into like clothes and like bootlegging stuff, and that's when I started like thrifting heavy too, because I was looking for like baggy jeans, stuff that I could kind of like customize, stuff like that.
Okay, that's pretty dope. So, what were these Atlanta trips like? Like, walk me through. Like, I know you kind of gave a like brief description of it, but like, like paint the picture of that.
So, for the Atlanta trips, it was kind of like that was when we were heavy into like making skate films. So Destin would bring like the camera, and our goal would just be like go somewhere, get as many clips as possible, just like skate all night. Try and take naps or whatever, like keep skating, just try and stack as many clips as possible so we could like finish a skate video.
Yeah. Were you what kind of tricks were you doing? Like did you have a specific style that was different than the more popular stuff? Like, cause all right, so you were the first dude who I saw do like skateboard tricks where you would like step off the board.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh shit, that's new.
So I'll say like I was big into like no complies, like wall rides, stuff like that. I was into like a lot of like bonelesses and stuff like that, which is kind of where you like grab the board, you take one foot off. But one of the things that I liked about that is like when I was younger, I was like super scared to like flip my boards. Like I hated like anything that involved like flip tricks. Like I would do them, but I like hated tray flips, hated kick flips, mainly because I was like scared to get hurt. So it was like I felt more comfortable just doing like no complies or like bonelesses and stuff like that. So I'd try and find like chill ways to get like cool clips, without having to like, I don't know, sack myself or something.
Yeah. What's like the craziest thing you saw happen live? Like someone skating, like maybe someone like bombing something and like fucking up at the last second, or like what? Someone doing a gap that they couldn't do, or jumping some stairs.
I have a bad memory. I know there's been so many things that I saw that I was just like, that was crazy. Off the top of my head, though, I don't know if anything sticks out to me.
Anything crazy ever happened to you while you were like essentially being homeless in Atlanta for like a weekend?
Honestly, like for the most part, all of them were pretty chill. Like, we'd run into the occasional like crackheads and stuff, but
Yeah.
I don't know. It just seemed like normal to us.
Yeah.
We don't really think much of it.
Were you guys like drinking or anything during this time, smoking, or was it like pretty sober?
I want to say we were just like straight sober, just like riding off the skate energy, just trying to get clips, stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
Destin would partake in like a little bit of whatever he could find. He was like one of those kids that just wanted to like do dumb stuff, and like I remember he smoked like he got like a cigarette, like not even like no weed or nothing, like just straight like a Black and Mild type cigarette. And like,
oh yeah.
He was like 13 at the time. There.
Yeah, I was gonna say
like,
at that age that's like cool, like that's like fun to do.
But yeah, he thought he got like so like fried off of it.
That's funny.
But yeah.
Oh yeah, bro. Do you ever do any other like extreme sports other than like skateboarding?
Really just like skateboarding, snowboarding, stuff like that. Board sports mainly.
Board sports. Oh yeah. So you were skating, you were traveling, doing the skate films, and then during this time, are you just like slowly collecting clothes? Like, how did you get into the fashion stuff? And then what caused you to take it and turn it into an actual business?
Yeah, so at this point, it was just straight skating. It was like that's all we could think of. Like,
Yeah.
So then we do a few Atlanta trips, and then we kind of need like, okay, what's that next step? Like we've already skated all these spots, like we need new clips. And then we saw we could take the bus to New York, so that's when we started going to New York like a lot. And we were like, this is way better than Atlanta. Like,
Yeah.
This is insane.
Were you networking a lot out there? Like, were you linking up with other skaters, or were you just kind of like on your dolo?
We randomly met like a ton of people, and then like some of the people we skated back from Charlotte were like slowly moving out to New York too. So we would like sometimes run into people that we knew from back home. We'd be like, yo, what's good? Like,
That's pretty, like, you just run into them randomly?
Because, I mean, we would normally, the bus would drop you off not too far from LES, which is like one of the biggest like skate parks in New York, just like a free outdoor park.
Yeah.
So we would always, that's kind of like the first place that you hit, like whenever we'd get off the bus, just to like skate around a little bit, figure out what we're about to do. And you always run into a ton of people there.
Yeah.
But we started meeting a bunch of different people, and like a lot of the people who we met were like big into like fashion too. So a lot of them were into like either like designer, but not like over the top designer, kind of like bootleg stuff and like cool stuff like that. And it kind of all tied back into skating. And so that's when like we would start thrifting heavy. Like we would get advice on like where they get all of their Supreme and stuff. It kind of started with that stuff.
Yeah.
And then eventually I got back, and I was just hitting the thrift stores more and more. I was finding like I used to be able to find so much like bootleg Gucci jeans and like bootleg Burberry. You don't see that stuff like as much anymore.
Yeah.
But that's kind of what started off, was kind of like baggy jeans, like vintage sweatshirts, stuff like that. And I met some friends here that wanted to sell me like some bootleg clothes. And they're like, yo, I got a bunch of like bootleg Gucci shorts and stuff. And that was like my favorite stuff at the time, was just bootleg.
Why?
I don't know. I just gravitated towards it. Like it was just something about like it reminded me of like New York.
Yeah.
I don't know why. Just like,
so like they were. It wasn't like low key bootleg. Like it was like, hey, these are bootleg. Like
yeah, it was like just kind of over the top. It would be like, I don't know, like size 40 denim, but it would be like 28 inseam. So they would just be like mad baggy, and then like the pocket would have like Gucci print on the back pocket.
Yeah. Okay.
But I just really like that style for some reason. And I ended up going to these dudes that lived not too far from here at the time. Mm-hmm. And they're like, yeah, we got a bunch of like bootleg stuff we could sell you. And they had been collecting like vintage for like years. And they had like all these sales and stuff on Grailed. And I went over there and I just kind of got introduced to the actual like what like true vintage is. Because like I was just going after like stuff I thought was cool.
Yeah.
I didn't even really necessarily know it was like, I assumed vintage. I didn't know that like really meant anything, you know?
Mm-hmm. So for the people who don't understand what makes something vintage, like explain it for us.
Yeah. So technically vintage is like 20 years or older. Some people are kind of like, even early 2000s, it's like, some people say like, yeah, it's vintage, like if it's 20 years, but they're still like, you need that like
it's not
90s, 80s, stuff like that.
Yeah, because some of these kids are in the 2000s and they're not fucking vintage.
Yeah. And then like, I don't know, quality kind of fell off for the most part after the 2000s. Yeah, that's when everything started going to like more fast fashion kind of. Mm-hmm. And you notice like quality is just not as good for the most part. Some brands still uphold, but it's still not like what it used to be.
That's interesting. I didn't realize that. So like the older clothes they're just better quality because people weren't mass producing them.
Yeah, and you'll even notice like how tags change over time. It'll be like, you know, the 80s was like the 50-50 blends where they're like super soft, like you hold them up to light, you can see right through them, like soft, stretchy. Then it kind of went to like 100% cotton. Everything was still, for the most part, made in USA, like 80s, 90s. Then you start getting into like made in China, made in Honduras, stuff like that.
Gotcha. So
Quality
are
kinda
the
falls
other
off.
stuff, are they usually like made in the US, like the OG vintage stuff?
Yeah, for the most part. I mean, there's, of course, like the Euro tag, stuff like that, which are still cool. But a lot of people will go after that made in USA vintage.
Gotcha.
But there's like Australian variants and Canadian. It gets deep, but it's like, for the most part, it's like made in USA was pretty good quality.
Okay, dope. So, all right, let's go back to the story. So you meet these people who start putting you on to what real vintage is and telling you like where to get it.
Yeah. So I still remember like the first time going over there. I like walk in and they're staying together at the time, and like they had this room where they kind of just kept all their clothes, and it was just like clothes everywhere. But it was just like all their vintage clothes that they thrifted. Like they had a room just for it.
Interesting. So like a crib, like there was just like a room was a closet?
Kinda. It was like a bedroom that like...
Was there a bed in there?
Yeah, there was a bed in there.
Okay.
But there was just like mad clothes everywhere.
Were they like put around neatly, or were there just like piles?
It was like a little bit of everything. It was like there was like the racks, and then there's just like the pile of like just a mountain of like clothes.
Oh yeah.
And I would like go through it, and it was like I instantly like... because I went there for like the bootleg stuff, and I was like, whoa, like this Looney Tunes stuff is crazy. Like OG 90s Looney Tunes. Like,
oh yeah.
Bunch of vintage sportswear, like just a bunch of random stuff, like band tees.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, this is crazy. And then they kind of taught me like, what vintage was and stuff like that. And then after that, I just started thrifting like more, and I was like, this is sick. And that's when I started doing Grailed too.
Yeah. So what, like, all right, so Grailed is like Depop, like these places you could resell on?
Yeah. So Grailed was the first app I think I ever started selling on. And at the time, Grailed wasn't as vintage as it is today. Like it was mainly like streetwear, designer, and stuff like that. So I was on that app before I started selling. That's where I would buy like a bunch of like, I was into like Supreme and stuff like that. And I was like, I'm gonna just start putting some of like my vintage clothes on here. I think that was around like somewhere between 2015 and 2017. And when I started selling on there, it wasn't even to like make money. It was just like I wanted to like sell stuff so I could like buy more stuff.
Yeah, makes sense.
But it was like kind of my clothing fund.
Yeah. Okay.
So I would try and sell like 5 items, because I would find like one item I want for like $150 or something. And I'm like, all right, I'm gonna see how much I can sell to get that.
Yeah. Dope. So do you still use any of these like sites to sell things?
Not as much. I really sell in store for the most part, and then like to the homies that come over and shop. I do eBay sometimes. Grailed, not too much.
How come? Is it like just not worth it anymore, or is the audience not there?
It is. It's just like I have a hard time keeping track of like if I put something online, like I don't want it to be in store, so I got to keep it at the crib. I actually started using a new app that I like a lot. It's called Whatnot.
Whatnot?
Yeah, have you heard of that?
No, tell us about it. Now it sounds like a like ad read.
Yeah, not sponsored. But,
not sponsored.
I actually just started selling on there like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is insane. Like I've never been able to move like this many items this quickly. So it's a live stream app. It was kind of a process getting like set up. Like you had to apply for it and stuff. Mm-hmm. But you can pretty much go live like whenever you want. You could like book a show, and you just hop on there and you can do like auctions, buy it nows, giveaways.
So that's what you do. You get on there. When you say live stream, like, are you there with like you're like, hey, this is my shirt, you guys want it, and you're like looking through the comments, or like how does it work?
So it was kind of weird. I sold on another app like maybe a year or two ago that was similar. So I kind of had somewhat of an experience doing that type of stuff. Mm-hmm. But it's pretty crazy. It's just like you can book a show in advance. Like you can, if you already know what you're going to be showing, you can like ahead of the show, you can go ahead and like take pictures and everything, like have it already like pre-listed. So let's say you're going to start at like $1, $5. You just like let the people know, like, let me know what you want to run and I'll start it. And you just like click on it and do like start auction. It'll be like 30 seconds.
So how long are you live?
You can go live however you want, dude. There's people that will go live on there for like 8 hours a day or like even longer. They'll just like grind it out. So far, I think I've done like 4 or 5 shows.
And you're just like sitting there talking to the camera?
Yeah, it's like sometimes I'll have like my homies come over and we'll do it together, and like one of them will like sit at the computer and like read stuff. Like I'll kind of read stuff. So we'll have it pulled up on like the laptop, and then we'll have the phone on the tripod. So you'll see like the comments come in.
Gotcha.
And like if I miss one, he'll like read something from the computer.
Okay.
We'll take turns like showing stuff. Like if no one's like wanting to do the auctions anymore, they'll be like, yo, do you have any like jackets or something? We could just start showing jackets.
So you're just live and people are just like buying. So does the app do anything else, or is it like made for like
it's like
selling clothes?
There's different categories. So there's like Funko Pops, anime figures, like,
but it's a
Legos.
selling app. It's like a live. Okay,
it's a live stream selling app, but they still have like their specific categories.
So how did you get into that? Like you said that you had to apply. There was a process.
Yeah.
What did they want to know from you?
It was kind of like, it was pretty simple for the most part. It was just like with most selling apps, like I was used to just like making an account and like listing stuff. Like this one, you kind of had to like just talk about like, you had to give like your Instagram handle, stuff like that, like how long you've been reselling. Then you got to do like a Zoom call for like orientation.
Oh, really?
They like walk you through the app for like an hour. But
was that helpful?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. Sounds pretty cool. If you guys are resellers, you know, gotta check out Whatnot. That sounds interesting.
You can move some stuff quick.
Yeah, I've been thrifting for a really long time. For me, also for like a brand that I want to do, but I realized like I just got a lot of stuff, and I'm like I feel like I want to start getting some of those stuff off. My initial plan was to do it on just like throwing shows, like doing a fashion show or something, or like making pop-ups. But I don't know, Whatnot sounds kind of interesting.
It's kind of a move.
Yeah, and you said you do well on there. You move and shit.
Yeah, but so for the most part, what it's been so far, because I'm still like new to it, like it's only been like a couple weeks. I've been like doing a lot of the auctions, because it's like most of the stuff I put on there is like stuff I just want to clear out. So it's like stuff that I don't want in store, like it's been sitting in store. So it's like start everything at like $5. Okay. Just 30-second auctions.
Oh, they're only 30 seconds?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, you could set it to however long. I just do 30 seconds.
Okay.
But then it's like if someone bids in like the last like 10 seconds, it'll add like an additional like 9 seconds.
So, when you're doing this, is it like it's showing them live, like, okay, you got this much time? Are you like, before you get on, like having a bunch of stuff ready to do it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So I like to kind of like pre-plan for it. So I'll have like, for the most part, if I'm running auctions, it's like you'll see a picture of everything that's going to be running. So you can like go through, like, you can like scroll through the auctions like in the store tab, and you can see like everything that'll be ran. And then like you can also add stuff too, like while you're live. So like if people start having random requests, I'll be like, all right, yeah, we can add this in. If you want to grab this, like it might be a higher start, but like we can start this one for like 50 or something.
So how many people are usually like tuned in, and do you need to have followers to get them tuned in, or are they already like on there?
So what I like about the app is when I started selling like 2 weeks ago, like, dude, I had like 10 followers, and like I was on Whatnot before that just because I was like a buyer on Whatnot. Like I would like watch people's shows. I would just like buy stuff. Mm-hmm. And so the first show I was kind of nervous because I was gonna run like, I don't know, like 50, 60 items, like all starting at $5. And I was like, I don't have any followers, but I put it on my story, but they do a good job at like promoting, kind of. Yeah. So it's like, it kind of like pops up on the explore page. So if you're looking for men's vintage, you'll see like even people you don't follow. Cause usually there's only like a certain amount of people live at a given time anyways. So it's like people just kind of see it, and then you can like bookmark people's shows and stuff too.
And you said you have to like book the time live. You can't just hop on and go live whenever you want.
You technically can, but it's like you still just put it in like, I'll be going live in like a minute, or like going live now. But it's like if you do it like, I'm going live next week, and you put like a cool little thumbnail, like people can see that.
To, like save it, get the notification. Hell yeah. So what's the next thing you got going on right now? You're in the First Stop store, correct? Mm-hmm. You're partnered with them. What's your where do you want to bring it?
It's weird. It's like there's so much going on. It's like just kind of going day by day with it, but I'm kind of in the process of figuring out like what to move online, what to move like locally, because certain stuff does better like location wise, like in Gastonia versus what it would do like worldwide, like online. You know?
So there's certain things that do well in Gastonia that don't do well other places.
Yeah, it's like it might do well, but it like tends to do better, I guess, locally versus like other stuff that like people might not know about it in Gastonia, but it could be like a really good item.
Give me like an example, like what's one of those items?
It's weird, so like I don't know, sometimes maybe with like Banties, like it could be like a super expensive Banty, and I feel like people like, at least for Gastonia, it's like for the type of clients we get, it's like they don't really see the value in certain things. Like they might like it, but they might not know like what it's worth, if that makes sense.
Got you.
Where like if you throw like, I don't know, like a $500 Banty on eBay, throw it up for like $250, it'll probably be gone like instantly, you know?
Yeah. Okay. Dope. So do you like selling in person more or like online?
I like both for sure. It's nice because it's like kind of finding that balance, you know?
Yeah.
Because it's like sometimes you could sell certain stuff locally that just like either for hire or just quicker, but it's always weird because you never know what's gonna sell because every person's different.
Yeah. So okay, you talked about like finding balance. What do you do outside of this stuff to find balance in the rest of your life?
I just grind it out.
Just grind it out?
Yeah.
Man, that don't sound too balanced. Sounds like you're gonna tip over.
No, I'm definitely in grind mode, work mode. I work part time too, so I'm off Tuesdays. That's kind of like my free day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you do on your Tuesdays?
So the past couple months I was working 7 days a week, but the way my bid lined up, I'm off Tuesdays now.
Yeah.
But Tuesdays is normally kind of like go pick up inventory or something, or just like hit the gym, relax.
Hell yeah.
Do something.
Do you ever skate like just for the fun of it these days, or do you not look at it the same way since you're not trying to? I guess before, were you trying to be like a professional skater or just get famous in the skate world?
It was more so like for fun, and it was just like grinding out for the videos. Like that was like the funnest part, was just trying to get like clips. Okay. Like we loved getting clips, but it was never really about like going pro or anything like that. It was just like, it was really cool to like challenge yourself, you know?
Yeah. Did you ever do competitions?
Yeah, I did.
What was that like?
It was good. There's a few contests I like won some cool prizes and stuff for.
What's one of the coolest things you've won from a competition?
I would say, so there's like a couple that like I was really stoked about. One was like this like hand painted board. This dude like Wesley Christensen painted it, but it was really sick. It was for the shop I used to ride for.
Okay.
And like I remember I saw it was like the first place prize. It was just like this super dope hand painted board. I was like, I need that.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I won that, so I was stoked. And then I remember another one. I got third on this one. I really wanted first because it was like a huge like Monster Energy trophy. I just like really liked Monster.
Yeah.
But I got third, so I still got like a smaller version of the Monster Energy trophy. But that one was pretty cool. Nice. But yeah, that was like the only trophy I was like, I need that. Like that's sick.
Were you ever like trying to get sponsors and stuff like that?
Yeah, I was definitely went through the phases where I was like definitely trying to grind out on some sponsors. Mainly just because like I couldn't afford like skate shoes and like parts like that. Yeah. Because I was just like blowing through skate shoes.
Are sponsors hard to find for like up and coming skaters?
I feel like not if you like network in the right way. And I feel like in this day and age, there's so many like new companies that are coming out. Yeah. I feel like they're always looking for like extra help with like growing their brand. Yeah. And I feel like one thing that like people sometimes forget is like they'll think just doing like tricks is like will get you sponsored, but it's like you kind of got to like market for them in a way, if that makes sense. Yeah. So it's like, how can you help the company versus like how can this company give me free stuff?
Yeah. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. Like being valuable to them, being a person who makes them more money, rather than just being like, oh, this guy's good. Yeah. Let's give him shit. That makes sense. And I could see like a lot of skaters just being like, how does this guy have a sponsor? I'm better. You
Yeah.
know?
And I feel like that's one of the things I missed as a kid too. I was just like, I was one of those kids that would just like email every company and be like, could you please watch my video?
Hell yeah, bro. That's how you got to do it, man. That's how you, like, that's literally, that's why you are how you are now, you know, grinding.
Yeah. But then, like, growing up, I kind of realized, it's like, oh, wow, I could have done stuff differently with that.
Yeah.
Or it's like, how could I have provided them value? But,
yeah, making them a free video, like, or something. Yeah. Hey, man, it's never too late.
Yeah.
Never too late. Do some snowboarding stuff.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Because, I mean, like, if you were, I mean, I guess, who knows if you even want to do that, but if that was an option to just start skating again and then, like, get sponsors, would you do that? And, like, let that take up some more of your time? And not sponsors by just getting free shit.
Yeah.
Like, if you're getting, like, paid.
Yeah. I would definitely do it. I would say the biggest thing, though, is, like, location-wise where I'm at, too. It's, like, there's not many places to skate. Like, it's kind of, like, rough, patchy. But if I was somewhere, like California.
Yeah.
Dude, you can skate, like, anywhere, and it's just phenomenal out there.
Have you been to that new skate park in Mooresville?
Not yet. I do need to go there.
I heard it's pretty dope. I haven't seen it.
Yeah, I've been meaning to check that out.
I heard that people were like traveling to come look at it.
Yeah, it looks sick. I've seen like the videos and the pictures.
Yeah.
Like, that looks crazy.
Yeah, one of my boys, he skates a lot, and he was telling me about that shit. He was actually, I was going to see if he could try to come today, and like you guys could have linked up, but schedules didn't align.
Yeah, it happens.
Yeah, he's like really into the skate shit and like the eBay shit.
Yeah,
he does a lot of like reselling and whatnot. He's honestly put me onto the eBay stuff. But he does vintage stuff too. Mm-hmm. But he like okay, he sells like Game Boys. Yeah, but he'll mod them.
That's
so he'll do like modded Game Boys. Yeah. So you could get like the vintage looking Game Boy, but you'll still have like a regular screen, so you don't need to like be in the sun and shit like that.
Yeah, that's dope.
Yeah,
because I remember the last Game Boy Color I picked up, it was like the LCD screen was just like shot, like you had to like play like in the dark to see it.
Yeah. Yeah. So he gets them and he like makes them nice and shit. Yeah, so that's pretty sick. What else are you collecting these days?
I went through a big video game phase for a little bit, just like collecting like old video games, stuff like that.
For what consoles?
Every console.
Do you have every console?
I have a lot.
Like, did you make sure that the games were working? Like, were you playing them, or were you strictly collecting?
A little bit of both. Like, some, like, I would pick up just to kind of have for the collection, but I would kind of, like, sometimes I judge a book by its cover when it comes to video games. I'm like, this game looks terrible. But
do you, like, wear all the stuff you buy? Or do you buy a lot of shit and you're like, this is just for this, not for me?
Oh, yeah, no. I have, like, a small circulation of, like, stuff I actually wear. And reason being is because, like, I can never find stuff that fits me, like, the way I like. I have weird measurements.
I feel that, bro. Things never fit me the way I like, but I just, like, I crop everything. Like, I just cut them to be comfy.
I do that sometimes.
Yeah. I don't like shit too long.
Yeah.
But I don't like it too tight. So I gotta, like, make it work how I gotta make it work.
I'm kind of this weird size and, like, vintage where it's kind of like a boxy large, where it's, like, I like it to be kind of, like, wide but short. Kind of like flows over you.
Yeah,
almost like a blanket.
Do you have a favorite brand?
I don't know if I have one at the moment. I kind of like, I don't know, I like a lot of different brands. I'd say shoe wise though, I've been rocking with the New Balances.
New Balance?
Yeah, I've been on a big New Balance wave.
What do you like about the New Balances?
Comfort.
Yeah,
I mainly like the 2002s and the 550s.
Mm-hmm.
I just like them. They're great.
Like the good old fashioned dad shoes.
Yeah, can't go wrong with them.
I feel that. I just got my first pair of KDs today.
Nice.
Hell yeah! I never really got a basketball shoe, but it was gifted to me, and I was like, oh shit,
that's dope.
That's sick. So now I'm like, maybe I'll switch up the fits.
Yeah,
because I feel like most of my fits don't work with basketball shoes.
Yeah,
but I feel like the skinny jeans stuff is kind of falling off. I haven't been wearing jeans that skinny. I've actually liked the baggier jeans these days.
Yeah.
Which is surprising because, like, growing up, I didn't think I would have.
Yeah.
But
baggy jeans are sick.
Yeah, I know they're, like, ideal for skating, right? Because, like, you're doing tricks, moving your legs and shit. Yeah. Do you still get, like, a lot of skate gear?
So I pick up like a lot of skateboards and stuff still randomly. Like kind of collect them now at this point. Sometimes I like sell them off after, like, if I start like getting to the point where I just have too much stuff, I just start to like, I'll clear stuff out and just move it.
Hell yeah.
But like I picked up like a old like Tony Hawk complete recently and like a flip skateboard complete.
Hell yeah.
They're like way too small. Like I wouldn't ride them. They're
Yeah.
like 7.5s or like 7.8, something like that. But
Yeah. You
I
surf at all?
no,
Nah.
I would definitely be down to try it.
Yeah,
Just,
it's a
like,
board
yeah.
sport, you know?
Yeah, I'd like to try it though.
Hell yeah. I can't skate. I've tried. I feel like I've hung out with skaters my whole life,
Yeah,
but like I've never been the skater.
yeah.
But like I'm always surrounded
It's
by
never
them.
too late.
It's never never too late. But like bro, I'm just like I feel like I'm afraid to get hurt. Like
That's kind of how I am now.
it's like 'cause landing on a skateboard is wild. It's wild. I'm actually trying to learn how to do backflips and shit though.
yeah.
So I'm like, all right, one thing at a time.
All right, now I actually feel like I'm getting old because I like actually went to go skate. This was probably like 3 months ago, and I actually wanted to do like there's a certain trick I wanted to get like on film, and I kind of wanted to make like a little edit because it had been a minute. And dude, I was getting this trick like the entire day, like the week before, but we were skating at nighttime, so like you couldn't see anything. We go back like a few days later, and this is when I started to get on that like skate grind again.
Mhm.
Like it's not much for me to get like kind of back addicted to it.
Yeah.
So it was like I went like 1 or 2 weeks, and then we kept going. And I was like, all right, we need to get clips. Dude, I did the dumbest thing ever, like just warming up. Like I wasn't even trying anything. It was just like, dude, it was like the way I stepped off my board when I was like going to hit this like ledge,
Yeah.
and I just like jumped off of it, and somehow like the way I put my like right foot down, dude, I just got the sharpest pain in my back like out of nowhere.
Man.
And like, dude, I like couldn't walk after that. I
That's
went to the
literally-
chiropractor and everything. Like I
Really?
went straight to the chiropractor.
Bro, that's literally like old shit.
Yeah.
That's
And then I
literally
got
old
like
shit.
x-rays. The dude told me my hips were like a little out of place.
Yeah.
But he said like one of my legs were like a quarter of an inch shorter, but he like fixed them for me.
Nice.
So he was pretty cool. And then
Good guy.
yeah, I went to follow up like 2 weeks later. He said I was good, and then I was gonna go back like the next month, and he retired. So I was like,
Oh man. That's crazy.
yeah.
I've never been to a chiropractor. I tried to go once when I was younger because I got into a little car accident.
Yeah.
But I'm too ticklish, bro. Like when they be like,
Yeah.
Well, one, I can't calm down.
Yeah.
Like when they're like, all right, I'm gonna crack you. I'm like, wait,
Yeah, no,
wait,
I was
wait.
nervous. I'm not gonna
Oh,
lie.
no,
I thought he was
no.
gonna like snap my neck and stuff. Dude,
Yeah,
it was
like,
nothing like
accidentally kill you or something.
Yeah.
That's definitely what I think is gonna happen.
that. Yeah, nah, he just like felt my spine, and then he like pushed, but like the table pushes in too. So it was like I kind of wanted to hear the crack, but you just hear like the table pop. But,
Do
like,
you
I
feel
felt-
the crack?
Yeah, you feel good after. Like,
Yeah.
I was like, this is kind of nice.
Do you ever get sore after?
After the chiropractor,
Yeah.
I want to say I was a little sore, but also it was like from the skate injury too. Because like I messed up my back, so I just felt like really weird
Hell
for the
yeah.
whole week.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, and then I was like, I'm not skating.
I feel that, bro. Well, hey, man, I really appreciate you for coming on the episode today, bro.
Yeah,
It was
it's been
nice
good.
chopping it up with you. We definitely got to get you back on here. Maybe
sure.
we'll like do some reactions to some fucking skate clips or something.
Yeah, do a little video review or something.
Hell yeah, hell yeah. All right, guys, the one and only T. Carl Tyler. Where can they find you?
You can find me on Instagram at Tyler Carl with a 3 instead of a E. So,
And what about your brand page?
brand page on Whatnot is gonna be at 90SSKATER.
Hell yeah. All right. Goodbye, everyone.
Peace.